It was for higher GC News, Bima Obibia Akwaba, Hadia, latest and hot news, and Kwa Enamede Bremo. And uji Sabunya subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say obe subscribe. Jobean say obe click a year the subscribe button. Na wabele notification. We answer video for be upload no. When the first person that wants ebeka a year sa video. Afi we are na wa like video no. Give us a thumbs up na afi share ma wo for so na when you be here na wo hu ensemo ekoso e wo Ghana me mu hanom. Afi yembura ye ensemo abeto yepno so. Enkomo bi ekoso ye nsebi aba betudwa mesese obenya botre na weti ye sa report ya aba betudwa yenti ye sa report ya abetudwa yenti.
Suleiman Abrahima is a executive director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, and then also with the team at the Fourth Estate. They did this investigation into the National Service Scheme's Ghost Names saga. He's with us in the studio. Sule, appreciate you coming. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. And good morning to all my friends.
Good morning, Sule.
Portions of this story have been reported, but we want to get the full picture. Over to you, Sule.
Well, thank you very much, Alfred. I think that sometime late last year, this whole story came up. There were all manner of attempts to prevent the story from being told. You know, even before the story was aired, a judge granted an injunction against the publication of the story over claims that we hadn't interviewed the persons who were involved when we had given them opportunities in terms of writing letters, speaking to them on phone to say that we are available, and essentially they evading that opportunity given them to be interviewed. And then behind us, they went to court, and the court granted an injunction against the publication, and that took us into elections and all of that. I just want to start by saying that, I mean, of course, people hear of the Fourth Estate. The Fourth Estate is an investigative journalism project at the Media Foundation for West Africa.
Fantastic.
But because it is doing publications and all of that, sometimes people misconstrue it to be like a different entity or a different organization and all of that. And I think it's important that we put that out. So in this presentation, essentially, I'm going to take you through the numbers and how the scheme was operationalized. And here we see these 5 people, and we put them up because we are talking about the period of President Akufo Addo. We are not talking about just last year when the story was being told.
Right.
And during that 8-year period, these are the people who were in charge of the scheme. So we had Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, who was the first executive director then, now is DG. He was there until, I think, up to 2020, and then had 2 deputies, Nana B and Gifty Owari. And then later, after the 2020 election, Mr. Sibe was appointed. Gifty was retained there as deputy, and then had another gentleman as a deputy director at the place. So these are the 5 people who have managed the place since 2017, 2018, all the way to 2024. End of 2024. Now, let's just look at the numbers. I think the recent statement from the presidency was essentially about the 2024-2025 national service year. And that's where the 81,000 figure comes up. But it didn't start just in 2024. So this is the last one.
Yes.
So we put an asterisk there to refer to it as the one that, you know, is contained in the presidency's statement. But it started all the way from the beginning. Yes. But here's the thing. So if you look at 2017-2018 national service year, national service, the secretariat always puts out the total number of persons who are eligible for national service that year on the basis of how many students are graduating from the eligible tertiary institutions in the country who will be enrolled for national service. So every year they put out the announcement. So if you look at that year, the very first year of President Akufo Addo, 2017-2018 national service year, they announced that 91,871 students or graduates are eligible for national service. In the end, 88,939 took up the national service. And all people we've spoken to say that should be the norm, because it's not every graduate coming out of school in that same year who will take up national service. some will travel abroad, some may, go into private businesses and avoid doing national service, and so on and so forth. And so it's not everyone who graduates in that year who will take up national service. So that year you would see that the number of people eligible, you had fewer, 2,000 less, those who took up their service. And that is what it's supposed to be. But the following year, 2018-2019, they said 85,708 people are graduating and are eligible for national service. But see what happened. 135,603 were those who were claimed to have done the service. So a difference of 49,895. So the ghost names started from the second year, 2018-2019.
49,895
yes.
ghost names.
Yes. And these are not our figures. In fact, these are figures presented to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education last year. So it's not our figures.
The Parliamentary Select Committee had this information?
Yes, they got this.
Okay.
And what surprises us is, if you look at the pattern, I wonder why nobody at that committee asked them that, but how can we have in just 1 year this difference in terms of the numbers? So 2019-2020, they said 77,962 people were eligible. But in the end, they told Parliament that 114,000 did the service. So 36,000 more. 2020-21, they themselves announced to the public 86,000. Then in the end,
there's 86,078 were the eligible personnel.
Yes, these are the graduates coming out from school, from all the eligible schools, our universities, private, public, polytechnics and all of that. The total number, 86,078 people. But in the end, mysteriously, we get 125,000
being deployed.
Being the ones that they say they have deployed. So they got 38,972 more personnel to do the service. From where? We don't know. 2021, 2022, they said 81,081. Then they deployed 110,000. So a difference of 29,000. Then the worst started happening. 2022, 2023. They themselves said 115,240 people were eligible. But see, they say 179,309. So a difference of 64,000. More than half of the number that they themselves announced. Difference of 64,000. Then 2023, 2024, they said 122,000. Then they deployed 182,142, a difference of 59,000. And then the very recent one, the handing over notes that they gave, claiming that the total number of people, they have is 180, but in actual sense, it's just 98,000 people, and we have a difference of 81,000. So the question I ask is, but why would the parliamentary committee, for example, look at in just 1 year, 81,000 people eligible for national service, and in the following year you have 115,000? How did we get that numbers? Then 115, 122, 122, 180. How many new schools were built and how many graduates were coming out, each year? So this is just the figures. Now, if you look at the figures in terms of how much we are losing, so because 2017, 2018, not all people took up, it means that we didn't lose. But that was the very first year of President Akufo Addo. I think at that time they wanted to weigh and see whether...
That's what I say, it's first year.
First year. So let's do it. Or we haven't learnt about the tricks and all of that. But the first year, if you look at it, the 49,000 out of the 559 allowance that was being paid to candidates every month, or to personnel every month, you have 334 million. That is about how much the state would have lost. The following year, 242 million, 261 million.
And you are multiplying based on the amount of the allowance paid?
Yes, allowance paid per month times 12.
Times 12?
Yes.
By this 49,895?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then the following year, 2022, 2023, 429 million. 23, 24, 513 million. And the 24, 25, which the government has just talked about, remember, but for the arrears that we are told, it means that they would have been paid in October, November, December, and January. And just for the 4 months, we were going to pay to ghosts 234 million.
This for 2024, that's this year?
Yes. So if allowances were being paid on regular basis, so November they would have been paid.
December.
October, November, December, and January. They would have been paid. And this is how much would have gone to ghost.
234.2 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Hey.
So the question then is asked, how is all this created? And remember...
And you put that in total, the potential annual financial loss...
Yes, so potential annual financial loss of about 2.2 billion Ghana cedis.
2.2 billion?
Yes. Ghana cedis. Now, you know, before the elections, one of the areas that Dr. Bawumia used to, you know, really highlight as a success story of how the Ghana card has been used to eliminate ghost names was the National Service Authority or National Service Secretariat then.
Yes.
Because he went there and they briefed him that, oh, we have integrated the Ghana card into a new system called the Metric app, and with that, we are able to eliminate any ghost names. And so far, we've kicked out about 14,000. And this is because without a Ghana card, the system would not allow you to enroll.
Yes.
And so to enroll in the scheme, you must have had a Ghana card, which is integrated into the system. So the question is, how then was this whole thing being done? Now, the scheme is, you know, for every year under the current system, the schools that are eligible are supposed to onboard their graduates directly onto the system. So every school has an access to the system. So University of Ghana would say we have, let's say, 5,000 graduates. This is the list. These are the index numbers. You know, so Edugita Maklo 224488, you know, Oliver 33 Martin 2299 So your index number, your program, and your name. So the universities would onboard the list directly, after which they would sign a declaration to say, in the event whatever I have given is false, I will be held liable. So the universities will do that directly. But the Service Secretariat also has the opportunity to enroll persons they call private candidates. And private candidates means persons who should have done national service the previous year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago who didn't do it, and because it's a requirement, are now saying, I want to come and enroll. The requirement is that if you completed UCC in 2021 and you didn't do national service and now you want to do it, you have to come with your certificate, an attestation from UCC, your Ghana card, to prove that indeed you are the one, the university has given you confirmation that yes, this person completed this university and here is the certificate. These are the requirements before they onboard you. So it's clear.
Yes.
But this is how the scheme works. So people sit down, create fake student index numbers, assign them names, assign them universities, and then onboard them as private candidates. So supposedly people who didn't do national service previously. But the question is, how can you have about 49,000 people or 64,000 people in 1 year coming and saying, we didn't do national service previously, but we want to do it now? So if you look at it, for University of Education, and I must say that the schools that they use the most, University of Education Winneba and University for Development Studies, UDS.
UDS and UEW.
Yes, they are the dominant schools.
They are the highest number of the ghost names. Any reason why?
I think that if you look also into the system, about 90% of the names are not, let me say, northern names or Muslim names. And so I don't know why. But whether the cabal is from these regions or whatever it is, I don't know why. But these schools are the dominant ones, but almost every school is used. So if you look at Winneba, this is how they give their index numbers. You know, straight numbers. Like University of Ghana. I went to University of Ghana. So you have straight index figures. You know, so 2244, blah, 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 blah. But look at what they created for people in the system. And thousands of these I think the first one is basically somebody's Ghana card number.
2021-04-003.
You know, no, it begins here.
No,
this is one person's. This is one person's index number.
So flip, yes.
Yes. So 3907 GH slash da 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 da. That's the index number for someone. And then UEW that VLOT da 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 UEW that. So we sent the list to these universities, and they say no, but we don't know anything. We don't have index numbers like this. So this is University of Education Winneba, and there are thousands and thousands of these. This is Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. They also use just figures, absolute numbers.
Wow.
And look at the fake index, some of the fake index numbers that they've created for assigning students to that university. That these are students who completed KN, UST, didn't do national service, and they are now enrolling. And these are all 2022, 2023 national service year. So you have basically maybe a Ghana card number-like system that they use for them. This is University of Cape Coast, another school that they used quite a lot. And Cape Coast has this index numbering that is quite complex, depending on the course you are doing. But see, the same university, they give different patterns of index numbers. Somebody is UCC slash this, somebody is SS slash that, and so on and so forth. Then you take University for Development Studies. So here, again, they also use the Cape Coast pattern, where your course indicates your index number. So B.Ed, Basic Education, so the person has BES, 04, da 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 da. But these are the numbers they use for University for Development Studies. UDSS, EST, some of them don't even have the preface in terms of the course that they are doing. Other universities that were assigned students fraudulently, UPSA, Valley View University, Dambai College of Education, Tamale Technical University. Now, as a result of the creation of this fake thing, in 2022-2023 service year, for example, we discovered during the analysis that some 226 students had the same name, doing the same program, in the same university, in one academic year.
226
students.
They had the same name.
Yes, the same name.
Alfredo Kansi,
226 students.
Had the same
in the same university, doing the same program, in the same academic year.
Alfredo Kansi, University of Ghana,
yes.
Political Science.
Political Science, 2022-2023. So, and the person's name is Abubakar Fuseni. And the index number given was this. And you have 226 Abubakar Fuseni.
What is his age? What's the age they gave him?
And the age is 59.
59 years.
And this is from the National Service System. It's not like somebody telling us or whatever. This is data, scratched from their system, taken from their system. So a 59-year-old Abubakar Fuseni, 226 of them
had the same Abubakar Fuseni.
Yes, doing integrated development studies, University of Development Studies, in the same year. Now, UDS, yesterday I saw posts on social media saying, oh, we don't even do UDS now. We don't do integrated development studies. That program now is with the SD, is it SD Dombo or something, in WA. But this is a creation of some people. They just have to create something and assign a university. So you have 226 students, same name, same program, same university, same academic year. Because when you are perpetrating fraud,
it's well calculated.
Yes. So in the same database, you have persons whose age 90 years, 80 years, 70 years.
So it's not only the 59 years. There's
no,
years.
59, he's younger. You had persons 90 years. So for example, 93-year-old Nimatu Salifu was listed as a UDS graduate posted to Kiyagi DA Primary School in the Upper West region. Another person, 91-year-old Ruth Abdullahi, supposed graduate of UDS, was posted to another school, Upper East region. 82-year-old Mahama Ali, another supposed graduate from UDS, posted to Anglican school in Sehwiyoso in the Western North region. So if you look at here, so we decided to from the system, this is the system of the NSS or NSC. So you would see here Mahamadu Ali, and this is the person.
The same picture?
Yes, the same picture, you know, so this is the person in the system. And then you would see where he is posted to. So institution, University for Development Studies, and here would indicate where he's been posted to.
Let's see, that 91-year-old Ruth Abdullahi, 91 year.
So here you would see submitted age, 82 years, date of birth, 1942, 0101. So, and this is in their system. It's not like we put it there. So that, I mean,
1942.
For Nimatu Salifu and Ruth Abdullahi in the system, if we had the time to bring everybody, you will see it like that.
I see.
Now, the other thing that they did was that they said you can only use Ghana card. And that's what they told. Without Ghana card, you can register. But in their own system, you would see people using fake ID cards and manipulated ID cards. Now, you look at here, 44-year-old, the name on this ID card says the person is Ophelia Akorgo. Now, if you look at this picture, it's not even the same person.
Yes.
But they have to just, any ID card they can find, they have to just put it in the system. So this person is Ophelia Akorgo, born in 1983. But here, see, 1980. On the ID card of the person says 1983. In the same system, the person submitted age indicates that 1980. But again, if you look at here, full name, Alasan Salamatu. Alasan Salamatu here, on the card, we have Ophelia Akorgo. So Alasan Salamatu is using Ophelia Akorgo's card. And then you see here, status, personnel posted.
Wow.
And this is from their system.
Next one. Yes.
So the next one, another incident of fake ID. So this is the person to be posted. Clearly, a lady.
Yes.
Right. I see the ID card used.
It's a man.
Yes, and this is supposed to be the service person's ID card in the system. Now, in the system, it says submitted means of identification, ID type provided. And the instruction is, please upload picture of your Ghana card.
And this is
this
the Bagabaga.
This is Bagabaga College of Education. The person is Nymphant Joel Satin. By the way, we've contacted the person with this name, and he's saying that at the time we were in school, we were never doing national service after training college. And even the ID, they've just manipulated it. No. Now, so this is a lady with a man's ID card, Nymphant Joel, but see, full name provided. This is personnel details. Full name, Idrisu Fatimata. Idrisu Fatimata here, Nymphant Joel here, and the person is a different person here. This is from the National, and you see, this is just a screenshot from the National Service database. Again, the same person's ID is used for a different person, Nymphant Joel as the ID name, and is Idrisu Al Hassan in terms of personnel details, and when you go to status, personnel posted.
Wow. Let's another one.
Another one here, 45-year-old lady. The ID card they use, they say, please upload your Ghana card. The Ghana card they put there is Picona Limited, Tamale, somebody's private company, and the ID card for staff.
Interesting.
And Abdullahi Asia. But you come to this place where they have personnel details, and the name is Al Hassan Salamatu.
Wow.
Here, somebody is using Social Security card for submission, for enrollment, and it is enrolled. Here, you know, for here, there's no even ID. They just created something and put it there. Same here, you know. And,
all of them.
The person used some fake voters ID to create it, and this is from the portal. And if you look at it, different. You know, this is supposed to be the same person throughout. So photo on national ID. So this is the national ID. Uploaded photo is this. live photo when they were capturing the person during registration.
Right.
And then, so it's supposed to be the same person, but you find that these are even different people. The worst of it is we had a guy, a Kenyan called Kwame Donko.
A Kenyan?
Yes.
What if the father is...
So here's the explanation.
And that's about it.
Here's the explanation. So this guy is said to be 72 years in the system.
72 years?
Yes, a Kwame Donko man is said to be 72 years. And then he is posted. So it was quite curious to us. We did a Google reverse image search, and it turned out that this is somebody sitting here somewhere in Kenya. You know, he's a human resource manager at i3 Technologies in Kenya, and his real name is Emmanuel Mutio.
Wow.
So
this
is how
the picture and
they just got thousands and thousands and thousands of people into the system.
And you provided all this information to ORA?
Yes, we did.
And to
and
ORA,
to the special prosecutor as well.
The special prosecutor as well?
Yes.
Okay, so then you have done your work.
Yes.
And then, so it's left to them to take it up. Exactly. So I really do appreciate you coming and giving us this full detail, the full picture. The next phase of this would be what happens next. That's really the most important thing, because now there is some evidence to what we have just seen. And so the oral team, 2 of them, will be on the show next week together with you again to talk about what happens next.
Me say these are criminals. I would omo aban mu na omo that opportunity na. Na say sabi omo tinche no mu di nsemu no omo wura aban mu a nsemu no be double. Because this time no, they have faculty, they have resources, they have everything, they even have power to do whatever they are doing. And unti na nipa ote national service secretary betimi afọ obi a wadi 92 years. Di yan say bi o na sha.
Kenyan ni bi kura ka ho.
Yes, omoko internet and omo ye photo shopping. Enti ofa Kenyan ni nanim na wa man Ghana din. Na nyansa ni because memeti yes me kasa me ye fraud da ubewu akwa aba ma wona na aba, you will never find out.
I see.
Oh yes. Because if you are smart, that is what you do. Oh, na me bokro you can never uncheme. That's what I'm telling you. But these people, because they are not smart, and you know, no, I don't know, because I know that criminals are very intelligent people.
Yeah.
Because I call medicine.
Oh yeah, criminal nasi ye chiwa no wejimi.
Exactly. Because your friend is saying medicine or moye. A man for a medicine at the Messiah there. There are other people who are also investing in other side called pseudo medicine. Do you know what they do? Medicine, no, your friends say you deal with pathology. They almost create sad near For instance, there is this crime syndicate I say omonam ye free medical care for a man for no monam no more surgery. Go to your friends saying there is this country called your friends saying Mecca medical mercenaries.
Yeah.
What they do is a mobile facility now. They were rendering free your friends surgery for people. Not to know in the organ harvesting syndicate. Ye biya yama when you want to see a kidney back. Operation omo free no. But omonti later alarm no bro ya no. Not just say obi a go through that surgery ni bia o kidney back one ira. Now and o kidney see a kidney too. Back be ya adwuma until say bibi besi no. Why na obeda asara ko clinic say me kwese me kidney wo ha. Why be that? Nti say ya twa ye ntwa ye wini. So omoni ba omo so no not this organ harvesting way no. Aye big business around the world. These are criminals. It took ages for that particular thing to be discovered. That is what intelligent criminals, when they operate, that is how they operate. In America, some of the recent cases, crimes were committed in the 30s until recently.
In the 30s?
Yes. Until recently, and Omutimi identify some of the culprits. Try a modern as a form. But these are people, and I'm so crime no crime committed, they don't even know how to do it. And you offer 92-year-old because 92-year-old or national service is a red flag.
I see.
Pictures no more far from internet. Google no more they changing Ghana. The very moment Kenyan knew who Kenyan anymore, obviously it will give you out. But I know so these are some of the things that they did. And Gabby, the side of it is
and even with national service, the moment I'll be D40 and above, won't mean national service.
I mean, so as an ordinary person, now usher into what has happened. No, you have that slight inclination after 40 years of crown media. So I ever say in a national service secretary, we Akufo Addo 92, din dia shame. I just want to find him answer.
Maybe I know 29.
Government institution that my na when your national service I found. The empire say that on your opportunity. Until omuka to call answer ya foul.
No, you also know, sir, 90 years you are above any government work because retirement is 60. So there is no justification.
Now, person here, no,
no, sir, can't the normal routine processes are 92 years, Baba can be a private work, government work, you know, you don't qualify.
So, according to ORA, we quick one about the national category. Right. According to ORA, I would say US dollars 4.5 billion national service payroll scam. Investigative by reveals that the inclusion of 200,000 fictitious names, commonly referred to as ghost names, on the National Service Secretariat's payroll between 2020 to 2024. Consequently, the fraudulent activity is estimated to have caused financial loss amounting to approximately 68.46 billion Ghana cedis. That is around 4.5 billion US dollars. If calculated based on monthly allowance of 715 Ghana cedis per ghost names over 48 months.
And you know, what you say? Say ghost names, you know. And you know, say some of the ghosts are Ghana card.
I also need fingerprints.
Yes, but deliberately, no, create Ghana card for them, and they created fake university IDs for them.
I see.
And you call UCC. Every university be our kind of generate or more your friend is saying student ID using the year and maybe course no way depending on which university. These people generated fake university IDs. They inserted these things in the database. Student or Marco UCC nas for Obia who not a faker, obviously it will give you out. So be aware smart or commit a crime, you know. You could see clearly these things are never ever give you out. And I am telling you the quality of personnel are very often in the name of dirty politics. Yes, some would be good. So if the person, the sense of thinking, is very inferior, now obey to this level, now would nipa we ba abayima. Question will be say improvement ben or abayina apart from some about. And that is the problem that we have created. So JB, I think crimes like this, you know, can never go unpunished. We need to set a stage. Yebet me, yes, I never win in a different the man for who said, "Oh, your mind sika in the first place, the money will have to be recovered." Yajia, we know, na sentence be a hobiana, and nipan face biano, you face it. We don't do this thing because we want to punish people. Now, Momsabe yebet me as a deterrent. Other people will not do it.
Yeah, sure.
Potential people in government will be criminals who will also be deterred. Say, nipa we ya de we know. Consequences in there. How can we do these things? And one thing I may say, okay. What Nasia Bisa say, Argentina state institution in executing their functions, you know. Baku 40 meeting no national service scandal way according for the last 8 years old.
But we period from 2020 to 2024. So a 4-year period.
No.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
so they've been in government for 8 years.
Yes,
but according to this report, within a 4-year period.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the oral report. I'm talking about the events of fourth state investigation. Year 2017.
Yes.
So what besides say? Say any institutional weakness and a systemic weakness and a year we no ever the send about Akufo betimi atena one office. Abokrono for 8 good years.
Oh, but first one there Mustafa no, is it former sports minister, former sports minister. Yes, on an NSS boss. And so not says to be ever.
No, me dey say everyone is saying and that rot no akoso for that long stretch of time.
Sure.
Now, no institutional mechanism be or yet identify these things. There should be a system in place. I bet me yet me recover, yet me monitor some of these things. They don't happen. It's the reason why I always have issue with the Auditor General's report. Yet Nansema Crono no coso admonum wie. Now for Yakofo buku kakra ni asesa ni nyina gumu kan kra unwie. Auditor General report all afekra untumi kan wie. And so what mechanisms and you put in place at the institutional level no we deal with the corruption as it happens. There are structures in place just to ensure say we prevent the crimes instead of say these are weaknesses going forward, no. We also need to look at and address them. And yes, sir, there be a best radio so ni TV so discussing scandals and very often sikane be come no we don't even recover na sikano kokwa. For national service for 8 good years. Oh, be better, Martin. How is ghost names? The Ashems are, you know, I culture that to them they feel free to do. I think that this institutional weakness now are embedded in our governance system. No, as you finding a way to address them, and yes, how we will never move forward. I'm making sure that things like this, you know, the punishment will be so severe and will be so consequential to the stand. Say, what's when you wakono, say, dear friend of Chrono, Bobby. We need to send a message to people say aban sika frito from krana unyam hu ni wura say uja na hokwa na ofa de kokoja. That is the culture that we need to establish in this country, and it's what I'm expecting President Mahama say going forward, you know. Obeye sa na man ya institute those things because the only difference between any people elsewhere in the Western world emo succeed ya succeed in discipline, the culture of indiscipline everywhere in our governance system.
That's true.
Baby and the pan will be and they try to create a new way, either to steal, either to the obey, but abrochire those systems are there to check people.
Yeah,
you understand? But I can't say yeah, nipai. We cover Pope be president, one checking of a bokrono. And you know, those incentives and opportunities and money no. We need to take it away, and by making man know say there are consequences for our actions. But we live in a country where you do anything and you get away with it. And these are some of the things you wake up to. It's the reason why these people were bold enough to sit at National Service Secretariat. Did what they did. Kanoforata Nemana all year now de or mine sikadi and said boom with that parliamentary approval. Yes, I nema way. He knew. Jebby again. Parliament. One of the institutions that are failing Ghana overwhelmingly.
I see. Which of the parliaments? Is it the 7th or the 8th parliament?
Let me use parliament. And way specifically, I'm talking about the parliament in April. Is it the 8th parliament? Yes. Because we figures in the national service for providing they were sending these figures to parliament. Parliament has an oversight responsibility. Institution national service canon. The Auditor General, they all have oversight responsibility. And are they telling us, yeah, the list about they don't do any background check? No one said is that what they are telling us? So, what is the oversight responsibility of this state institution? Because Parliament, there is a reason why some of these lists, you go through, you do your own background checks, you do to verify whether these numbers are correct, whether they are consistent. Numbers now you deploy, how many people actually went to the ground. There is a reason why such numbers must be submitted to Parliament. So Ubisa say, Sanyama wait because 8 years. Now Parliament oversight we no anti na obi antimi until fourth estate investigation and all drama for attention. Clearly, there is massive institutional weakness that must be addressed in this country. You understand? So, in some corruption, there are fundamental weaknesses locked to the heart of our governance system that we need to sit down as people. Now, you're making sure you address it by Croman and Semsia. We look at the individuals involved. We look at the political parties they are coming from. So we politicize the whole issue and we forget about the fundamental leakages underpinning institutions. As a address, so at the end of the day, you go after the people, the institutional weaknesses are there. Will come back, and other people will come and create it because national security, national service scandal. Mekasa President Mahama Akufo Addo in 2016. So it means the fundamental problem at the time, a payroll fraud. We couldn't address it at the time, but that was the time for us to look at these things. Now you're now you're making sure say you cave in. So I think they're going forward. We really need to get serious in this country and make sure we punish crimes. And yes, sir, we will lose this country, our essence, and everything that we stand for.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Okay, man, if I Kweku Annan, I want to say me not share. this document. Ghanaian American comedian Bia.
He was the one and out.
Oh, okay. Then go ahead. All right.
Okay, my brother, assistant pa, na Emarufi. It's my brother, Rufi. Yanko Kaino. Ye free about 2016. Ono Oba we no kind. We do help John Mama. Obi J who said, say one dachi don't you $1 million. Then a John Mama here.
Victoria Hammer.
Yes, and then a John Mama here. Yes. I know Chester Sally Pacona, I can't want some help. Mammy Maui and Patroni. No, a
preview to Ghanaians.
No, even aside that, let your camera capture this. You see, this time around, no, Nyaminti technology, Abba. Aman, Kophobia, no, Mose, or Monaco school, baby, I don't want the brofo. And when your name, it is be Minister Bia, Yamiadum, now 1 year Minister Dia, where we are on Coedin, say, or no, what's a brofo, and a buffalo, what's a brofo, and I just say, oh, yes, I will Ghana. And what's about him? Fatima, something, oh, Yama Oba, Yama, you say, we respect women. We give them acknowledge. I mean, person make our but say so war about we be one can say oh ni motor brofo. Na brofo and did here. Brofo na di like bo. Brofo and di fa trotro. Enya brofo samo. Men fa brofo e me wian. Ye di atwi any Hausa no e be boa Ghana. We don't need English. Shey omo mo ti brofo omo share white omo kura e say suitcase no. E ko no mo Ghana. Brofo ni edibo na me brother I can say omuko parliament house omo te brofo omo parliament house sa na ma fu yi e ba mu he na na do ho onna ne nyame ase say John Mahama enye na adu say oba no so e ka me kase na say John e ti krom ha e na free education na na do e ka che say nipa 5.7 million e na oba benefit from free education and then former education minister. I say a typo and I said it was a mistake. How come boss calculate any? No, calculate any. Money you have 5.7 million. Now we take 3.5 million free more. Unya say 80% inflated. The inflated free education 80%. Calculate 80% of 9.9 billion. Sika since 2017 till now. NPP are buying spending our free education and I don't catch your parliament no. And say, I'm spending 9.9 billion our free education.
Yeah. And that JB. Yes, sir. I think President Mahama buy since he took office.
Is it a second coming?
No, second coming. Okay. I think the legacy decision that he's taken to be the biggest one. I am very impactful, the biggest, and I am expecting saying getting a lot of traction within the media. The decision to pay bondholders. Yes, I mean it's the biggest decision that he's taken so far. Because with him, this DDEP in the first place, the buy the same and the same kind of boy. I open the burden on Ghanaians, and they had the opportunity say they could pay. But because of munim do my yentin, almost one near money in Begu, Ghana for console. So Emma Market Blanks here will can invest $1.2 million in this country. Hoping say or the outcome no dividend no better take care of the school. At some point in time he said, according to him, they were demanding 10% cuts in bribes and sana. And then almost the President Mahama taking that decision also or joining the NDC. So it's about policy choices and policy decisions that he's taken. And to me, I think that is the best decision so far that he's taken. I ever bringing relief to people. Many people above 60 years, 70 years earlier in their retirement. Being at the hospital, I know the ordeals people go through when they are at that age. You need to buy your drugs, medication, then as a form. And this uncle for no, first as you can through on table, so a death sentence not passing their mom. What I say. So I think there is something that we need to look at. Now you're celebrating for that now going forward in the Akano, yen share, now yen dili, now yen kamwasem, Sabaya in the future, no. Similar things of this nature, no, happen yet. I buy big man conquer and quasi abosin. I put in same muno, let a hunsun and so on. a method ordinary Ghanaian so.
You waiting for winning a reporter abeto yepono so Mikao says so when you subscribe to channel idea Bomodia say obe subscribe. Now fee well like video no give us a thumbs up now fee share my wo foforo so na we be here na wo ensemo ekoso e wo Ghana memo ha. Also bitimi atchere wadwen afaye some way nyina ho e wo comment box mu. Mobeti minkabiu in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.